Welcome back to another episode of the Balancing Healthy podcast. Today is a little bit more chilled out in a few ways. And firstly, if you're watching the video, you'll see I've got no makeup on. My hair isn't done. I mean, the beauty of keratin is that it just looks naturally done anyway, so that's why I get it. Hair isn't done, no makeup. I'm chilling in my favorite hoodie ever. I've literally had it for about 2 years. It's just an LSKD one. It says Lifting Club on the back, and it just sits amazingly. Like, I still literally had one of my clients of the day say, Sarah, I just love that hoodie. Like, where is it from? And I'm like, I've had it for about 2 years. So that's incredible. But the reason that I have just been like, we're not going to put too much into this and we're going to make it more chill is because it's reflecting what I kind of need right now. So this episode, I've kind of got 3 points, but no actual notes written, which if you've been listening to my previous episodes, you know that I've always got notes written. So first thing is going to be more of like a life update, but more like things I've been struggling with lately. And I think it's something of importance because I really want to normalize a lot. And I spoke to this on my TikTok, I think it was last week or the week before, just that like I've been really struggling for a few reasons. I think, you know, a lot of people can relate. It is such a busy time of year. And I think I was even speaking to a new client today about like, you know, she's like been lacking motivation and, you know, struggling to get into things. And I think it's a combination of winter has been freezing, obviously, and it feels like it's gone on for kind of ever. Very luckily in Melbourne. And now we are getting light earlier in the morning and some more sunshine during the day, which is incredible. But yeah, I think it's a combination of like winter has been really wintering and also the fact that like we do so much. And this is something that I had said to myself a couple of weeks ago. I want to say, what date is it today? Oh, it's the 1st of October as well. Happy October, guys. 1st of October as I'm recording. That means I've only got 3 months left of the year. That's freaking crazy. And it's literally about to fly past. And this is exactly what I was about to say as well. It's like, I said to myself at least a month ago, I was like, okay, time to like focus on a little bit more work-life balance and kind of like, you know, I had really pushed for the month or two before that. And I even wrote it. I'm looking at my laptop now. I've even got a sticky note on my laptop that for my 12 weeks of my deficit, like things that I want to achieve. That's just like 3 things that I want to do. And one of them is balance work and life. And let me tell you, the last month, and like I'm currently still in the thick of it, there has been no work-life balance. There has been a lot of work. And yes, there has been life, but in the craziest way possible, like within the span of 2 weekends, well, 3 weekends actually technically, but like 2 weeks all up. I had 2 trips down to like Rosebud Rye area. One is a retreat and one, so it was like a business retreat. And one of them was a little getaway with my friend and some of her friends because we were all bridesmaids and she's the bride and like it's just a little like bridal getaway, which was really, really nice. That was the weekend just gone. That was really relaxing. But in the same breath, it's like I've been doing these other things and I've been working so much extra in person with clients, just with other trainers sick and, you know, having weddings and just all the things going on. So I've just been working a lot and like your girl is struggling, especially because I'm doing extra early mornings. Like I'm always up pretty early in the morning, but I've been doing extra early mornings and like it has been hitting me. You can see my cheeks are like a tiny bit red, which is a combination of a few things, but one of them is definitely the fact that like when I find I'm more tired, and not that I'm less hydrated, I'm still drinking 3 liters of water a day, but like I'm definitely having at least 2 lots of caffeine a day, which like my skin feels it. I have dry skin, but like she goes really red when like she's not as hydrated as she could be. So yeah, just being tired, things like that. Like I'm really feeling the exhaustion and I keep saying just like next week. And like usually I will catch up on the weekend. But I haven't had the weekends to catch up because I've been doing other things. So I just feel like I've been running on a hamster wheel for weeks and weeks and weeks. And it's all good things. Like, and that is something I want to preface as well. Like, it is all good things. It is all things I've chosen. It's literally how me 2-3 years ago has been wanting to live my life. Like, I fucking love my job and I love where I live and I love my business and I love so many things and I love these opportunities that I'm getting. But it's equally like, it's so easy to be like, I love this so much, and then neglect yourself because of it. And I just think that a lot of us are struggling lately. Like I said, either the winter motivation and just, you know, liking it, or the fact that we're like nearing that burnout because we're just doing too much. And I know I'm nearing that burnout. I'm getting more anxious. Yes, a little bit more caffeine, but like it's definitely, this anxiety is more than my 2 lots of caffeine a day. A little bit more anxious, like not as good sleep. And just, like just a bit more emotional and like a bit more snappy. And I know that. So I really need to start to regulate my emotions as well. And yeah, just week by week, I'm trying, like where I can catch up on work or try and get ahead and things like that. I do have another weekend away next weekend. We still need to officially book it, but my partner and I are going to go back down to that like kind of Rye, Rosebud, wherever we can find somewhere to stay, because he got me a voucher to the Alba Hot Springs for Christmas last year. And I was like, let's use it. Like, let's go have a relaxing weekend. So I looked at my calendar and next weekend is the only weekend that I pretty much have free for the rest of the year, just because I've got so many things to do. I did have a VA for a little bit, but I don't have her anymore, just her working hours and schedule and like containers changed and stuff. So I feel like I need another VA or I need some help. I definitely can't be doing everything I'm doing on my own. So I'm going to have to look into that again because your girl is struggling. Like, and I was talking to my friend about this the other day. And I said, I work with clients in person and that's like let's say it's like a part-time job. Like I don't do like 38-hour weeks, but let's say a part-time job. And then I run a whole business on top of that. So even though I'm in the same industry, and again, this is what I keep getting caught in my head going, I'm in the same industry, it's fine, it's not that bad. But I'm like, I'm still trying to do so many things and I'm trying to be there for my in-person clients and be there for my online clients and grow my business and be a good partner and a good sister and a good daughter and a good friend, and like trying to wear the 1,000,001 hats is tricky. And literally even to the point we're catching up with some friends on Friday night this week that haven't even met my partner and we've been together for 3.5 years. So just like life is lifey. Life is lifey. I did do a little bit, I think I said this at the start, a little bit of an update in like more deeper struggles with my relationships and how I've been feeling with my relationships. That is on my TikTok. I don't think I'll get into it now because it's just one of those things that relationships are so important to me, and having quality time with my people is so important to me. And I've been really struggling to have that time or have the quality time. And it just feels like, and no one has said anything to me at all, but it feels like I'm not giving enough or I can't give enough. And like, it's literally fine. Like I'll see my friends and like, they know that when we're together and we don't need to be like in each other's inboxes every single day. So it's literally completely fine. But I feel like I'm just not doing enough and not giving enough. So anyway, that's kind of been my little bit of a struggle lately, but this is, I guess we could say, my October goal. It's kind of just my goal for the rest of the year, for the rest of life. There are going to be busy seasons, but I really don't want to hit like mid-November or December and like hate what I'm doing. Like I don't want to feel resentful to anything because I just think that, like I said, I love what I'm doing and I love my life and I don't want to resent anyone or anything. So trying to incorporate more work-life balance in whatever capacity that kind of looks like. I'm going to need some help. I'm literally, as I'm talking, I'm like, the clogs are ticking in my head. I'm like, oh my God, I need to do that. It's such an ADHD thing. But yeah, might need some help. So anyway, that's kind of it on the life update, but more struggles. I am also 5.5 weeks now into my deficit. So I'm nearly halfway. And I've lost 2.3 kilos in the first 5 weeks. My weight is a little bit up from the weekend that just was because I just literally fucking chilled the whole weekend, ate lots of food, had such a good time. So it's like a little bit up currently, but by the time we get back to the end of the week, like it'll come back down. So I'm not even worried about that. Anyway, that's it on like the life update struggles. Oh my God. You know what? The fact that it's 4:22 and I've been yapping for the last 10 hours, I'm pretty impressed with myself. So the actual topic of today's episode, and I don't know how much I've got to say on this, but I've got a little bit to say. I want to talk to fast weight loss and coincide with that Ozempic, Mounjaro, all the other weight loss injections. I have an opinion and I want to talk about it. So first things first, I don't want anyone to, take what I say and implement what works for your life. And a lot of the things I say, I do want most people to do. But the other thing with that, hang on, my laptop's falling to sleep. The other thing with that as well is that like some people actually, might need these things for assistance to help them lose weight, whatever. But I think when it comes to weight loss injections, weight loss surgery, there's a lot of things that we can do in this day and age to help us lose weight quicker. But I'm going to tell you why fast weight loss is actually so much more detrimental to your health. Because when we think about it, right, when we have a weight loss goal, we have a certain number we want to hit, let's just, I don't know, I don't even need to give a number example, but let's just say 70 kilos. We have a certain weight we want to hit, right? But usually the goal, yes, is a number, but there's actually a goal reason behind that. And it's like, okay, maybe I want to actually be more toned, or maybe I want to feel more confident, or, maybe I just want to fit into this dress again. Like there's always an actual deeper goal rather than just the number. And 9 times out of 10, we actually need our muscle mass, and hear me out on this, we need muscle mass to create that feeling to achieve that deeper goal. So if you want to look toned, you're actually going to need to build some muscle. If you, want to fit back into that dress, like you want to change your body shape a little bit, you actually need to build some muscle. I forgot my second point before. I can't remember the goal that I said before. Confidence, duh. If you want to feel more confident, it generally comes from building muscle, and not just a sense of like, if I build muscle, I'm going to be confident. It's I go to the gym and I stick to my word. I go to the gym and I'm getting stronger and I'm feeling more confident in the gym. Therefore, I'm feeling more confident in my life, because the gym can be a scary place. And I'm not going to pretend it's not, because I've been a PT for 3 years and the gym can be a scary place. I still get a bit of gym anxiety, especially when I have a new program as well, or like going to gym at certain times. That's what I was going to talk about in my life update. That's right. Going to gym at certain times of the day as well. Like gyms can be scary. There can be, bodybuilders around. There can be people that like, quote unquote, know what they're doing, but they might not actually know what they're doing. So to build that confidence, it's not only about like losing weight and like building muscle and changing your body shape. It's also that mental side of things. And I think I spoke to this last week's episode. There's also that mental side of things of like, you're building that trust within yourself, and you're feeling more confident in yourself and your decisions, and you're making quicker decisions. And therefore, you've got some more confidence when you go out and about. So doesn't matter what your goal is, building muscle is the key, right? Now, when it comes to weight loss, I always encourage, movement obviously, but I really do encourage the gym, whether you want to lose weight, like I said, any of those goals, I really encourage going to the gym and strength training, because we want to build as much muscle mass as we can. Now, when we lose weight too fast, it is not just fat that we're losing. We are losing muscle at the same time. So if you're someone, or you see people that are losing like over a kilo a week, every single week, that's not healthy. It is not healthy at all, because they're losing their fat, but they're actually losing their muscle as well. So what is left, and this is a conversation I was having with a client the other day. She had met someone on a trip who had, lost 35 kilos on the either ozempic or I don't know, whatever the injection she was on, lost 35 kilos, had skin surgery, like skin removal surgery, did all the things, and said they went on like a hike. They did something, and my client goes, I expected her to be stronger or fitter because she lost all the weight, but she actually wasn't. She actually was weaker. And I said, yeah, because she's lost all that weight, but she's lost it so fast that she's also lost her muscle mass. Therefore, she's not as strong as she quote unquote should be for someone of her age and weight and whatever the thing is. So that is like, anytime you see anyone consistently posting huge weight loss numbers, I want you to be so, so, so careful, so mindful, and just so aware of the things as well, right? So one of my clients as well, I've been coaching her online nutrition and training for about 15 months, and she had weight loss surgery, and she'd, been to other coaches and blah, blah, blah. She ended up coming to me, and, I've trained her intentionally. Her program is suited to her body, certain things that she was struggling with, certain things to get stronger with. We never used MyFitnessPal. She's just literally been using the food journal. So she just takes a photo and uploads it in the app for me to see. She's just been using that. So there's no tracking calories, nothing. And in 15 months or 14, whatever, how many months it is, she's lost, I believe it is now 13 kilos. And, it's a very healthy loss. And not only is it a healthy weight loss, she's also been building muscle as well. So she's also been getting stronger as well. She's literally the strongest she has ever been. And she even said to me the other week, she goes, I'm scared that I'm going to go back to that other version of me, that previous version of me. And I said, I want you to just think for a second. I said, think back to you 2 years ago before you had your surgery. Look at where you are today. Look at the difference. That girl 2 years ago was not going to the gym. She was not going out for daily walks. She was not eating well at all. She was just getting by doing like nothing. Now look at you. I said, you are one of the most consistent people I know. You train 3 times a week. And she speaks to me too. Like if she's got 3 kids. If it's school holidays and she can't get to the gym, she needs to be at home for the boys. I change her program to a home program. She has a little bit of weights at home. We do it for that time being. And then when they're back at school, we go back to gym. Like she trains so consistently. She doesn't enjoy missing a session. She's actually always like, whenever she's like, I'm not training this week, she's like, I've ended up at the gym again. Like she actually loves it, and not in a crazy overdoing it way, in a way of like, she just likes to feel good and feel strong. She gets out and walks every single day. She does over 10,000 steps a day just because that's just her norm, and she loves it, and it's her time to be outdoors. And sometimes it's with her boys as well, which is very cute. But it's just her time to be outdoors and just moving her body and feeling good. And she eats so well. When she came to me, she was struggling with binge eating. She literally, I remember one of our first weeks together, she was like, Sarah, I found a packet of, I think it was mint slice. It was some kind of biscuit in the cupboard. I just ate the whole thing, and I didn't even think about it till after I'd done it. And we worked through that, and she has not binged in over a year. Like I said to her, the way that you live life now, there is no way you would go back to that quote unquote old version of you who was so much heavier and who literally did not give a crap about her health. And that is the importance of like, yes, weight loss surgeries, weight loss injections, like these can work, but they can work if you do them right. So doing them right is adding training to your routine, adding strength training. You need to be strength training so you can keep as much muscle mass as possible. You need to be looking at your nutrition. You need to be eating in a way that's actually going to work for your body, that fuels you for your sessions, but also eating enough protein to support the strength training, to support that muscle build so that you can have as much muscle mass as possible. Another thing that I always say, the more muscle mass you have, the more lean muscle mass you have, the more calories you burn at a resting rate. It's like a thermogenic effect of the muscle, right? The more calories you can burn at a resting rate. So I could be sitting here burning more calories now because I've got more muscle mass than I did 5 years ago when I was a little stick thin person. Again, I was trying to lose weight fast 5 years ago, and I look at the photos from 5 years ago and I was 15 kilos lighter, but I looked sick. I looked so unhealthy because I had no muscle on me. And like the goal was to feel confident and to look toned and to be stronger. But like I wasn't even going to the gym. I was just losing as much weight as I could. I was barely getting out for a walk. Like I did it, but I was struggling and I had no muscle mass and I had no confidence. I was still in an abusive relationship. I was still letting food control me. I literally was in a job I hated, and I was just like getting through day by day, and literally I didn't want to be there. Truthfully, I didn't want to be there. And it got to be a really, really dark time. And it wasn't until I pulled myself out of that things started to get better. And I've gone off track again. This is so classic me. Anyway, so I was talking about, fast weight loss and going, getting injections and all this. And like, there's some people that need it. Like some people potentially are so overweight that they actually need it. Like, yes, they can start to change their lifestyle. They can start to go to the gym. They can start to eat better, but they might actually need that injection for just to help speed up, just to help get a little bit more off a little bit quicker. But I think things like this are not good long term. I think, like I said, I think a little bit, yeah, but they're not good long term. If you are not someone who can implement healthier habits, who can start drinking more water, who can start training in the gym, who can go out for a walk, who can look after their nutrition, who can sleep better, if you're not one of those people and you are taking Mounjaro, Ozempic, literally whatever it is, I can nearly guarantee you the weight will come back on when you're done. And again, I don't know the full process behind it, like with the doctors and their routines and like how they do it and how they prescribe it and all the things, because it's not something that I've fully, completely researched because I just don't care for it. I think the best thing you can do is just start going to the gym, just start eating well, just start doing all the things. And again, it's easier said than done. But if you have the right help, if you get a PT, if you get a coach, if you get like whatever the thing is, then it can be done in a way that works for you, in a way that's sustainable, in a way that's long-term, and in a way that you're actually going to stick to. And you're going to build that confidence and you're going to build that strength, and your body is just going to change before your eyes, and you won't even notice it's happening until it's happened. And you go, oh, wow, like 6 months ago, I looked like this. Now I look like this, which again is why photos, measurements, scales are good, but photos and measurements are so important. Again, because I have clients who I have a client who did her 4-week photos and measurements just yesterday for my 12-week challenge, because we're 4 weeks into it. And, she was like, I don't feel good. Like, my period is due. Like, I'm bloated. I'm this, I'm that. And I looked at her photos and I was like, you can see your stomach has shrunk. If you're feeling bloated and your stomach has shrunk, imagine what it looks like when you're not getting your period and you're not bloated. The weight has come down. The measurements have come down. It is so easy for us to get in our heads and be like, it's not working. I feel shit. I feel this. I feel that. But having that outsider perspective, having, a coach, professional, whatever it is, like look at it for you, can actually change the game. And she was like, I had this conversation with her and she was like, oh my God, you're so right. Like, I didn't even see that. And again, it's because we are so critical of ourselves, which kind of ties into my first point about my life struggles, and like we're critical and we do too much and all the things, but like we're so critical of ourselves that it just like we forget to see how good the wins are when it happens. And it's one of those things of like, I've tried losing weight before and it doesn't work, so now I have to get Ozempic. But it doesn't have to be that way. It just has to be done right. And I promise you, you'll feel so much better for it. Again, a conversation I've been having with clients lately is I have been not enjoying my training lately. It is not something I want to do. It is so easy. And you know what? I will tie this in. It's what I said before when I was like, oh, I was meant to say that in my life struggles and updates and everything. Even though I've been going through all the emotions and I'm tired, and like, I'm not so tired that I'm like falling to the floor, like struggling, but I'm just like, I'm feeling the exhaustion a little bit more than I should be. Even through all that, I have still been training where I can, and I eat as good as I can regardless. I'm still meal prepping, like making sure I'm ahead for the week. Like this week, I'm working so much that I've meal prepped breakfasts, lunches, and then some of my dinners as well, which I usually just prep my lunches, and then breakfast is kind of like on the go, and then dinners is again kind of on the go as well. But I've done boom, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks are ready to go, because I'm like, I need to be so prepared this week to make sure I'm eating well, making sure I'm sticking within my deficit, and making sure that I'm feeling good at the same time. I'm having enough protein, fruits, veggies, all the things. So that is something that's been really interesting, is whilst I've been struggling and whilst I've been feeling tired, I've still been able to go to the gym when I can. Like, for example, last week I trained twice. I think I trained Monday and Tuesday morning, because then I worked the 6 a.m. start Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I went straight from the work on Friday down to Rosebud, because I was there for the whole weekend, didn't get home till 4 o'clock on Sunday, 4 o'clock on Sunday night. And then I just, cleaning the house, groceries, all the things. So like there was a lot on. So it's like I'm still finding I will prioritize it where I can. This week, it's currently Wednesday, and it looks like I'm only going to be training twice. So I did a session on Monday, and then I'm on the 6 a.m. start Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which if you're a PT, it takes a lot out of you. Like going back to back, anywhere between like 7 to 10 clients every day takes a lot out of you. So I don't go to the gym after that. But I'm working those 4 days, and then I'll get a session in on the weekend. Because again, I don't want to get to a place of resentment, but I'm like, I'm happy with 2, considering how active I am during the week with work and everything like that as well. So another thing, like to tie it into, again, like, quote unquote, I've tried everything, it's not working now, I need Ozempic. It's you've tried everything, but how consistent have you been? Where have you just given up instead of actually trying to keep going? For example, I could just easily go, I'm not going to the gym this week. I have so much to do. I could be like, I'm not going to the gym. But that's not helpful for me at all. That doesn't contribute to my goals. And the thing, let me take it back to my actual point of this. The thing is, like I was saying to my clients of like, okay, I haven't been loving my training, but I'm doing it where I can. I'm prioritizing it where I can, especially for me as a 28-and-a-half-year-old girl. I have in the back of my head that we lose muscle mass from the age of 30 onwards. And in my head, I'm like, I have literally got 18 months to build as much muscle as I can, to get as strong as I can. Like, obviously, I will keep training and eating well and doing what I need to do. But in the back of my head, science is telling me that I'm going to start losing muscle mass from the age of 30. I'm 30 in 18 months. I need to be making sure I'm on top of my game whilst I'm young and while I can be. And I literally have clients say this to me all the time, like, Sarah, you're so lucky that you're doing this already when you're young, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I know. Like, I'm not even like, oh no, like whatever. I'm like, I know. I am so grateful that I went from a girl who trashed her body, who ate like shit, who drank just all the time, just like absolutely shit, to someone who is so healthy and so health conscious, and not just looking at like, oh, like this is too hard to go to the gym today, but like, actually, yes, I have a lot on. Yes, it is hard, but it's actually going to contribute to my goals and make me feel so much better. Right? I want to be, like I said, I'm going to go on about muscle mass forever, because muscle mass is literally the thing. I don't want to get to 80 and be in a wheelchair or a nursing home and be unable to look after myself. I want to get to 80 and feel like I'm on top of the freaking world. I want to feel so independent. I want to be moving around on my own. I don't need help. Like, and I don't want to get to 80 and be like, I wish I had trained sooner, because then I wouldn't be frail. It's like, I want to know that I gave it everything, so that when I hit 80, I'm having a good time. I'm living a good life. I'm strong and I'm healthy and I'm happy and I can travel and I can do all the things that I want to do when I'm 80. All right. I think that is all I need to say on today's episode. I talked to the fast weight loss and the damaging effects of it. So again, like I said, if it's really, really fast, I say to my clients, 500 grams a week is quite good. Anything more than that consistently, that's a problem. And something that I would do as a coach as well is I will look at the weekly average. So for example, if I have a client, let's just say their weight today was 82 kilos and their weight in a week's time is like 80.3 or something, right? That's like 1.7 kilos. That would look like a massive drop. And I would be like, okay, like could need to look into that. However, we fluctuate so much as women as well, which is why scales aren't everything. We fluctuate so much that if I actually look at the weekly average for this week could actually be like 81.7. And the weekly average for the next week could actually be like 80.6. I don't know how many kilos that is difference. 81.7, 80.6. It's still 1.1. But you see my point of like how the weekly average can actually tell me a different story. And again, we fluctuate. We have, you know, day-to-day life, hormones, all the things, but also our 28-day menstrual cycle. If it's 28 days, mine's 27. But we have our menstrual cycle as well, different phases. You're going to feel different ways. Your body's going to react different ways, depending on what you've eaten as well. Like there's so much to it that I'm like, I would never look at just the one number. I look at everything as a whole. So if, like I said, if there was anything more than 500 grams for like a consistent period of time, then I would go, okay, I'm going to be giving you more food, because I don't want you to be, you know, I'm not the coach that's going to be like, cool, you've lost 10 kilos in my 12-week challenge, and now I'm going to boast about you on my socials, because I never understand when people do that, because 9 times out of 10, their clients putting the weight back on because they lost it way too fast, which is getting, like I said, with this Ozempic, Manjaro, all the things is, you know, you can take it, you can inject it, and, you know, but if you're not changing your lifestyle, and even when you have changed your lifestyle, when you come off it, I can almost guarantee you're going to put a little bit, if not a lot of it back on. So those are my thoughts on weight loss, injections, surgery, all the things. I think if you can change your lifestyle and like truly change it and implement some really good habits, you can be okay. But when it's really, really fast weight loss, that is when that's kind of the problem, Dal. That's a really big problem, because we don't want to be losing muscle mass and we don't want to be feeling weak and brittle and frail when we're in our 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever. Like we want to be strong as fuck. So we need some muscle mass with that. All right. I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I know I started not morbid, but like a little more of a downer than usual, but I just wanted to really normalize the struggles of life. And, you know, we don't always all have our shit together. And if you feel like you're kind of struggling with the same thing, or even if you have any questions on like weight loss, Ozempic, anything like that, if you've considered using it, if you have used it, anything at all, please send me a DM on Instagram, because I would love to chat to you and just answer any questions or whatever you want from me, have a chat. I do love a voice message, so feel free to send me a voice message. Otherwise, I am on TikTok doing more like lifestyle-y things, just sharing a little more of my life and my journey on there as well. Both of them are at Coach by Says, so feel free to jump over there. But I'm going to love you and leave you guys. Thank you so much for listening or watching, however you're consuming the podcast, and I will speak to you in next week's episode. Bye.